Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Yeah, we just had Bert Kreischer on the show a minute ago before Måneskin. If you missed that, hilarious. Bert Kreischer coming to Rockford September 18th, and that's the opening of the tour. Promised us he'd come in the day before and do the show with us, the entire show. We're holding him to that. And if you want to hear that interview, if you didn't hear it, you missed out on it, it's going to be up on it's already up on our podcast, actually. You can find it there where Brian and Kenzie podcast, where you always get your podcasts. So coming up here in about 10 minutes, we'll get you on the phones for an evening with Mark Hoppus. It's Clash with Kenzie. You got to fight for it. So that's coming up in 10 minutes. But first, let's get into some sports.
Q101 Morning Crew. Sports.
Well, it's here. It's live on social. You can go check it out. Piece of Garbage Madness 2025 with Brian and Kenzie. We've had the nominations for the last month. And Tiffany in South Holland checked in and just said, masterpiece. Thank you, Tiffany, and South Holland, all the people of South Holland, and everybody around can go take a look at it right now on our Instagram, our Facebook. And the first matchup starts in about 10 minutes, and that will be in the Italian beef region. Last year's champion, the number 1 overall seed, Tiffany Henyard, going against the 16 seed, the movie Joker 2.
It's a tough goal.
Now,
That's a toss-up.
You know, you're looking at upset city in a lot of these matchups. Joker 2 was a colossal billion-dollar disappointment.
Not good.
Somebody brought up a great point, though, that when Amelia Perez was winning all those awards, they were like, we were too hard on Joker 2. And now we were so it was not nearly as bad as the movie that's winning everything.
In hindsight.
Ooh, we've made some mistakes. You know, Lady Gaga is like, what the hell? What?
Listen, the first movie was incredible and impactful and disturbing. Just do that again in 2. Don't make it a musical. Such a disappointment. Now, again, you decide with the voting who advances. I know it's a 1 in 16 seed, but maybe there could be an upset there. You decide. But Tiffany Henyard, you know, she's coming with all guns blazing. She's got a jump shot, a turnaround, a hook shot from half court. You know, you decide who wins and moves on in Piece of Garbage Madness. If you're just new to the show today, it is people and things that have been pieces of garbage in the last year. And Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of Dalton, not going to be running again, but she had a pretty bad year. Pretty colossal year.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that Joker 2 was a musical because Tiffany Henyard also dipped her toe into the musical category. You've got it in your little folder there, Brian. I know it's quick, but maybe do you want to play Tiffany Henyard's Feed the People just to remind everybody of what the now soon-to-be ex-Dalton mayor did in the studio?
For sure. Certainly a rhyme that was good.
I'm feeding the people. They put me in office and treat me like it's illegal to feed the people. To feed the people. I get back to communities and I clean the streets up. I'm starving the board. I'm feeding the people. They put me in office and treat me like it's illegal to feed the people. To feed the people. To feed my people. To feed my people. From Vegas to Chicago.
Okay, Tiffany.
So catchy. That should be on piece of gems right there. Different bracket.
It's crazy she didn't do Lala this year.
Tiffany checked in from South Holland again and said, I'm sorry I share a name with her.
That's tough. That's a tough one.
It's a tough name to have. So there you go. The voting will be up in 5 minutes. We'll get that up shortly. But I want you to absorb the bracket it's been put up just now on our story, of course, on Instagram and Facebook. And just take a look at it. It's masterpiece. Thanks again to the double features who helped me put it all together.
So just to make sure that I remember correctly, what you're going to do is 4 times a day, as long as we see fit, you're going to put up matchups one by one, and people will vote in the comments section on Facebook and Instagram to see who advances in Piece of Garbage.
Correct. I'll put it up on Instagram and the stories as well, and I'll put it on Twitter even for our Twitter people out there.
They still exist. Are you going to put it on Blue Sky or no?
I'm not going on Threads. I may open up my MySpace page, see if I can still activate it and put it up there.
Your Foursquare account.
That's right. But it will be compiled, all the voting. I'll take care of it in advance and go that way. So you can vote on all your platforms. And make sure you vote quickly because each, as Kay said, about 4 a day And it depends if I take a nap and then I lose
my
track of it.
God.
I can't give you exact times right now.
This is messy.
And you're voting for the worst thing. We want to crown the worst thing of the last year, just to be clear.
That's right. So you see,
not your favorite.
yeah, Tiffany Henyard and the Joker too. Well, if you think Tiffany Henyard's a bigger piece of garbage, you vote for Tiffany Henyard.
Correct.
And then they move on. So there you go. Case may feel that we are, by the way, all on the bracket for some reason or another. Case may feel he should be on the bracket because he did not get invited to the Chicago White Sox Food Day yesterday. One of the biggest White Sox fans I know is Case right here in the room. And even though we're very critical of all our sports teams because we're not frauds like these other radio stations that talk sports and pretend to be rah-rah about the teams, we talk real when we call them out. That's what we do. We're your voice through this radio station when you're angry or happy with your team, either one. We're authentic. Case has called out, well, much like all of us, the White Sox last year. I mean, it's not that hard. It was the worst team in Major League Baseball history. But everybody I know, Kenzie, got invited to the Chicago White Sox Food Day where they debut the foods to everybody and you talk about it. Case didn't get invited.
Well, honestly, Case has talked a lot of smacks about the White Sox. If anybody should have been invited out of the three of us, it should have been me.
Should have been?
I've been a defender.
Well, you didn't get one either then.
I know.
An invite. Well,
I love food.
Yeah, but you're collateral damage from Case. You're guilt by association.
I'm linked to him.
Yeah. How does that make you feel?
Not great.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. After all my efforts.
Why don't you let that sit with you for a little bit? Think about
I
that.
didn't see it coming. That should be a piece of garbage.
Your relationship
Kenzie's linked to
with
Case. Don't love it.
It shows that choices in life mean things.
They have consequences.
And I have made a mistake.
Yeah.
I made a horrible
You
mistake.
put your name on that dotted line, and look at where you are now.
Look at I sold my soul to the devil.
And by the way, a huge mistake because the food looked outstanding at the new rate. We'll call it the rate now, not guaranteed rate ballpark anymore.
You know, birthday cake, milkshake, brand new chicken sandwiches, corn dogs. Who needs it? Invite radio stations nobody cares about.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. I want to get you on the phones right now. 312-591-8300. An evening with Mark Hoppus of Blink-182, a very special, memorable event. And you will be there if you call 312-591-8300 right now. But you also got to beat Kenzie in trivia. 312-591-8300. Call right now. And also, if Kenzie wins, we still give them out.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
You can't defeat her. She's too powerful.
Clash with Kenzie.
Let the battle begin.
Q101.
Here we go. Another chance to go see Mark Hoppus. An evening with Mark Hoppus of Blink-182 at the Riv. And it's Mark inviting you to join him as he shares his memoir, Fahrenheit 182. Really unique, special, exclusive. A lot of people say, I want to get backstage. I want to get VIP for a show, not just go to a show. That's kind of what this is, because you're getting an intimate experience with Mark Hoppus. That's not him performing, but talking about this really deep and meaningful memoir he just got through. Of course, nearly dying of cancer, the band breaking up, getting back together, all the Blink-182 drama that has been there for the last decade. So there you go. It's Wednesday, April 16th, and it's from our great friends at Jam Productions and Brian and Kenzie on Q101. And Eddie is going to compete against Kenzie today in trivia for this. So, Eddie, tell us something about yourself. Ahoy.
Ahoy. I was most recently on TV for Punchki Day on Fat Tuesday, and I think you guys saw me there in studio on your nice TV over there.
Oh, this is that Eddie.
That's that Eddie.
Oh, hell
That's
yeah.
our guy, baby.
Yeah, Eddie was on WGN, and I looked up at the TV. I went, oh, we know that guy. Oh, that guy comes to all of our events. He's great. And then he was on TV. It was so much fun.
I want to be on. I want to be on TV eating a punchki.
That could be its own channel.
Oh God, you live stream? You think those eagles are good with the little baby birds?
Yeah.
Me eating a punchki 24 hours a day.
They
Suck
can't
on
just
that,
air
birds.
that. That has to be censored, Brian.
Can't do a live stream on that one.
That.
All right, Eddie. Well, here we go. First one to 5 wins. Listen carefully. If Kenzie gets one wrong, you can steal a point. She can do the same to you. Call heads or tails, Eddie.
Let's go heads.
It is heads.
Nice.
I think the winners have won all.
Noise.
I think they won all week. So here we go. Eddie, what is the name of the town that SpongeBob lives in?
Bikini Bottom.
Bikini Bottom is right. Eddie's on the board with one. Kenzie. In what state did Tony Soprano live in?
Like in real life.
Well, Tony Soprano, not James Gandolfini. So Tony Soprano, where did he live?
I think it was like Jersey.
It was New Jersey.
Okay.
There you go. James Gandolfini, not so sure. Rest in peace.
I just know him as that. So I'm like,
Huge loss. Oh, what was that sound, Eddie?
I think my phone's recording. I don't know.
Oh, boy.
Well.
Call is no longer being recorded.
My bad.
he's trying to frame us. Son of a
Legitimize
bitch.
the game. That's all I'm doing.
All right, Elon Musk.
All right. Eddie the Spy has one, and it's back to him.
Eddie, what NFL team plays their home games at Lambeau Field?
Unfortunately, the hated rivals of the Bears, it's the Green Bay Packers.
Very, very true. Let's see. Eddie's got 2. Kenzie's got 1.
And back to Kenzie.
Kenzie, name one of the 4 number 1 seeds in this year's men's March Madness tournament.
Why are you laughing?
Well, she just filled out a bracket,
Yeah.
and so she was really happy with it and proud of who she picked. We'll talk about this a little bit later on, but then I said, well, she picked somebody that was a 13 seed, and she said, well, what's the 13 seed? I go, the number next to the team.
No, I said I didn't understand how to know. I was like, how do you just have all the seeds memorized? He goes, well, it's on the thing. I'm like, well, that sucks. I didn't know that.
Yeah. The number
I
next
thought
to the
they were
team.
just being numbered because there's 64.
So she thought they were just number 13 of the 64, not that they
Like
were
they're
a
just
13
like going
seed.
in a row.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So can you name the 4 number, or one of the number, the
I
4
can
number
name
1
one
seeds?
of them because I think Duke is probably a 1
Duke
seed.
is one of them. Good job. Kenzie ties it up at 2, too. Traditionally, they are. They just are good every year because they cheat. No, I'm kidding. I just
settle
don't. I
down.
don't like Duke. Back to Kenzie then.
No, back to Eddie.
Or
2-2.
Eddie, what color CTA line would you take to O'Hare International Airport?
Brian, that would be the blue line.
That is the blue line, Eddie. Eddie's got 3. Kenzie's got 2. I'm back to Kenzie. Kenzie, in what ocean did Amelia Earhart disappear in?
Oh.
Don't say the right one.
To the right. To the left. Well, it's one of 2 in my mind. I'm going to say Pacific.
Pacific, you guessed right in that one.
Okay.
That would be the left one.
The one to the left. It's either Atlantic or Pacific. Everything goes down to those 2. I know there's more oceans than that, but like, what are they even doing? Keep up, you know?
We should just have 2. It'd be easier. Just extend them.
Just extend them.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
He sounds like a dictator. That should also be ours.
Show some respect to the Indian Ocean.
Just make it the
Hey,
Pacific.
don't be very careful with what you say next.
All right, 3-3 back to Eddie.
Eddie, what Chicago diner inspired Saturday Night Live's cheeseburger sketch?
No fries, no chips. The Billy Goat Tavern.
Billy Goat is right. Eddie's got 4. And God, I want a Billy Goat burger right now.
That does sound good.
Anyway, let's finish the game first.
Before Brian takes a snack break. 4-3 back to Kenzie.
Kenzie, what is the name of the recording device in every airplane that is utilized to facilitate possible investigations? So what's the recording device called in planes?
A recording device on the plane?
Mm-hmm. They all have them. What do you think it's called?
What do you? I don't even know what you're talking about.
Just take a guess.
They
Just take-
record you?
Just like Eddie was recording us.
I'm gonna say a voice recorder.
It's not a voice recorder, or I didn't even know they were recording us was your first answer.
What are you talking about?
Eddie for the win.
Oddly enough, it's not this actual color. It's actually orange, but it's called the black box.
The black box. And Eddie, there you go. Congratulations.
But just so I know, are they recording everybody talking on planes?
Yep.
Why?
Well, you should be careful what you say next time.
Well, it's not that interesting. But
I don't know. That London flight was long. I heard you. I heard you. I heard what you be saying.
I was just like, I am hungry.
That was about 78% of the time.
Yeah.
So, Eddie, congratulations.
Woohoo! Thank you. Let's go.
You are going to an evening with Mark Hoppus, and that will be at the Riv on Wednesday, April 16th. They did move it to a bigger venue recently, so there's a few more seats left. So now you can purchase some if they're left at this time of doing this. But from our great friends at Jam Productions and Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Congrats, our friend Eddie.
Thank you. Good to hear from you guys.
Oh, good to hear from you. Hang on, Case will get your information. Nice guy. Lincoln Park now, Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Special announcement after Lincoln Park.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q101.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. That's Lincoln Park. We're going to come back to that in just about 10 seconds because I want to let you know, boy, do we have an update on what we talked about with the Downers Grove teacher a couple days ago who was arrested for sleeping with a student. There's an update. We actually have the text messages that were sent back and forth from the teacher to the student. The 30-year-old teacher, a woman, and then the boy, 15-year-old. We have those text messages. We'll get through that. I don't know what's going on with the suburban teachers, but there's also a suburban teacher who was a cheer coach that stole $30,000 from the school.
$30,000.
$30,000 from Lake
Jeez.
Zurich. We'll get to all that in just about 10 minutes with Brian and Kenzie on Q101. You have to stick around for it. And, you know, even we'll do this, too, when we come back since we played Lincoln Park. A chance to see them at Welcome to Rockville. We'll give that keyword out for an exclusive VIP trip coming up in just about 10 minutes. But, boy, now mentioning Lincoln Park, and, of course, we played the newer Lincoln Park there, the Emptiness Machine. But today is Chester Bennington's birthday. And he would have been 49 years old today. Lost him 8 years ago. July 20th, we lost him 8 years ago. And then March 20th, 1976 was his birthday. And this really hit me. I've told the story before, but Lincoln Park playing Jamboree at Q101 back in the day when I was here, in the sludge days of Q101 when I was here. And I think that was the year 2000 Jamboree. And I'll never forget their performance and how nice Chester and the rest of the guys were in leaving. They made sure to say goodbye to everybody on the air at Q101 at the time before they left. And typically bands, they're not necessarily... They're really busy after the show and usually getting to go to the next gig. But they hung out to make sure and just talk to all of us. And I remember Chester specifically being so kind. And we're going to play some audio here. And I know some of this can be kind of tough, as, you know, we definitely want you to get help. If you need help, 988 is the mental health line. But when you hear Chester Bennington understand his struggles of his life, this was him in an interview talking about trying to break the cycle of depression that all of us have moments in our life. And this was really introspective.
I don't know if anybody out there can relate, but like I have a hard time with life sometimes. Right. Sometimes it's great, but a lot of times for me it's really hard. And no matter how I'm feeling, like I always find myself like struggling with certain patterns of behavior. I find myself like stuck in like the same thing that keeps repeating over and over again. And I'm just like, how am I in this? And it's that moment where you're in it, and then you kind of separate yourself from that situation, and you look at it, and you see it for what it is, and you're able to then do something about it. Like you've now broken out of that circle, that cycle. I know that for me, when I'm inside myself, when I'm in my own head, it gets this place right here, this skull between my ears. That is a bad neighborhood, and I should not be in there alone.
Now, you know, that the guy that was interviewing him kind of chuckled there and again nervously when someone says something like that. But I got to say, I've never understood it more with the way he described it there of having depression and struggle, of saying, this is a bad neighborhood, and he pointed to his head. Mm-hmm. And he talks really clear in there about you shouldn't go through the battle alone, get help. And we always say that to everybody, our listeners, everybody's gone through something. And get help when you need it. It's all there for you, whether it's even reaching out to us, and we can guide you to 988, the people there. Chester Bennington would have 41 years old. We lost him at would have been 49 years old today.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q101.